All right, hey guys, I hope everyone is doing well tonight. This is Rudy. Hey, I want to ask for your help tonight, and I want to try to get the attention of Pastor Robert Jeffress, who is the senior pastor of First Baptist Church in downtown Dallas. He has a 10,000 member congregation in downtown Dallas. They've got a $130 million project they're trying to put together to create a spiritual oasis in downtown Dallas. I don't know what that's all about, but you know, I'm not really interested in that. But here's the deal: we can't seem to get through to Ron Paul, right? I've tried everything to get a hold of Ron Paul, and I just can't get through to him. And even if I could, I don't know that he still has what it takes to come out and say the truth. Let me say this: I got into a conversation with a Paulite earlier. And they said, well, he don't come out about this because he's got a legacy to protect. They said, Ron Paul has a legacy to protect. I was like, I don't know if that's true or not, but if it is true, Ron Paul's concerned about his legacy, and we're talking about our entire country. And someone who's not legal to pick tomatoes in Florida is sending our sons and our daughters, giving them their orders, and has the nuclear codes. Look. If that is Ron Paul's concern, that he needs to protect his legacy, if that is his concern, he's a piece of human scum, if that is his concern. I don't know why Ron Paul has remained silent on this issue, but it's been very disappointing, okay? So I've given up on contacting Ron Paul. I have tried, and I have tried to send him emails. I don't know, so I can't, it's beyond me why he won't speak about the issue. But if we can get through to a man of God who has a little bit of soul left, right, that has some influence with a 10,000 member congregation, maybe, just maybe, we can get his attention. And so I want to focus on Dr. Robert Jeffress for a while, and I'm going to ask for your help. He has a website. It's firstdallas.org. So it's www.firstdallas.org. And they have two email addresses. One of them is info@firstdallas.org, and the other one is events@firstdallas.org. And if you see this video and you can send an email, I would like you, please, to send an email to info@firstdallas.org and events@firstdallas.org and ask that Pastor Robert Jeffress come out and support Sheriff Arpaio, to support Pastor Carl Gallups, to support Pastor Stefan Broden, to support Pastor James David Manning, to support Pastor Wally S. Drake, and to support Orly Tates, to support Jerome Corsi, to support Lieutenant Colonel Terry Lakin. Okay? And I think if he gets enough emails, he's going to think about it when he goes to sleep at night. Right? It's like, I want to read you guys an email that I just sent to him recently. And if he gets several emails like this, he can't just continue to ignore it. Okay. Hello, Pastor Robert Jeffress. This email is from myself only. I do not represent any other organization or church. I only speak on behalf of me. Even though I go to Fair Park Bible Fellowship, don't be thinking I'm speaking on behalf of Pastor Broden or anything like that. I go to his church, but I speak on behalf of me. Pastor Broden may not even like half the stuff I say, but I learn a lot at that church, and I have a great deal of respect for a man of God. But when I do my YouTube channel, I'm speaking on just me, right? So I want to let Dr. Robert Jeffress know I'm just speaking on behalf of me. I don't know if you remember, but you previously informed me that First Baptist was not interested in supporting Sheriff Arpaio and the Constitutional Election Summit because Pastor Jeffress said that he did not get involved in political events. This was just before he came out and endorsed Mormon Mitt Romney, which reminded me of James 1:8, which says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. It is my sincere belief that if Pastor Jeffress would have supported this event and advertised it to his congregation, it could have had enough impact to change our nation and bring enough critical mass public attention to the most serious constitutional crisis this nation has ever experienced. dealing with Obama's ineligibility to hold the office of president. However, Jeffress continues to ignore Obama's ineligibility and lets people like Pastor Broden, Pastor James David Manning, Pastor Wally S. Drake, Pastor Carl Gallups fight at risk to their own safety without any mainstream Christian support from people like you. Nonetheless, I believe God will protect these men and their families, and God will prevail with justice and truth in spite of silence from First Baptist Church in Dallas. Thank God Almighty, there are still some preachers in Dallas with enough balls to tell the truth, no matter how it impacts their popularity. Again, I would remind Pastor Jeffress of the example set by Dietrich Bonhoeffer. I again implore Pastor Jeffress to reconsider his position of silence on this most critical issue. It is never too late to tell the truth. Will Pastor Jeffress continue to let his Christian brothers fight this fight without his support? Is this multi-million-dollar project Pastor Jeffress is overseeing worth letting our country be controlled by an illegal alien with no loyalty to America or her Christian heritage? Will Pastor Jeffress continue to hide behind excuses while an illegal alien sends our sons and daughters into harm's way in foreign wars? Below are some video links associated with the Constitutional Election Summit we just held at our church in South Dallas. And then it goes on to recommend to please watch the video from Pastor Carl Gallups and to please watch the video from Pastor James David Manning. Okay, that's my message to Pastor Robert Jeffress of First Baptist Church in downtown Dallas with a 10,000 member congregation. The so-called Christians, believers of the Holy Bible, followers of Jesus Christ. These people call themselves Christians. They say they follow the Holy Bible. Pastor Jeffress calls himself a Christian. Okay? So when this issue is brought to his attention with enough emails, I can't seem to get anybody's attention down there, but I'm asking for your help. If he gets enough emails, he can't continue to deny the truth. And so if he has any soul left in him when he goes to sleep at night, he's got to think about it. Is he going to be silent while the biggest constitutional crisis in our country continues to go on and on? Is he going to let the mafia government of Eric Holder and the Obama administration silence Sheriff Arpaio? 50-year service to our country at the sheriff and the federal level. Look, you got to help me get Pastor Jeffress' attention. Once we get his attention and we can get Pastor Jeffress to come out on the issue, I'll take back all the nasty things I said about him. I'll ask him to forgive me, and I'll be his biggest fan. Same thing with Donald Trump. If Donald Trump will hold a press conference, and I understand that he might be jumping back on the birther bandwagon. He came to the birther party late and he left early, but I hear he might be coming back. If Donald Trump comes back, I'll take back all the nasty things I said about him, about his filthy lucre and how he's not willing to risk anything to say the truth. But I haven't seen him do anything yet. But I will apologize if he comes back. Get on the right side of history. It ain't an ego thing. It ain't like I'm right, you're wrong. It ain't an argument between you and me. It's much bigger than that. We're talking about the future of our children, the future of our country. We got to put aside all this petty ego crap and help me get Pastor Robert Jeffress' attention. He's got a 10,000 member congregation. If he calls himself a Christian and he has any amount of soul or integrity left, he'll do what's right. And then once he does what's right, everybody can take back all the nasty things they were thinking or saying about him, including me. I will apologize and I'll become his biggest supporter. Let's just fix our dang country and get past all the ego, and let's just say the truth. And let's not be fearful of Eric Holder and this mafia government that Obama's put together. The email addresses, again, are info@firstdallas.org and events@firstdallas.org. I'm going to put them in the information bar. Please send emails off to these addresses and put it in your own words and ask Pastor Jeffress to help us support the truth. God bless every one of you and have a great day.